Are you one of the many people who spend hours creating custom Unmatched decks only to realize you haven't had a chance to test even half of them? Do you have a great deck idea but can't quite get it to feel the way you want it? Well, I think what you need is the Unmatched Playtesting Guild. The Playtesting Guild is an event started by Fanaka66 on the Unmatched subreddit where players work together to play and provide feedback on fan-made decks in order to earn points. Each new round will feature a deck submitted by the current highest point holder, giving incentive to keep participating until you get your deck in the spotlight. So, grab your favorite custom deck and head on over to the Playtesting Guild. What's up guys, Zero Skater here, and it's time for yet another round of the Playtesting Guild, this time featuring Don Quixote by PoindexterG. And if you guys missed last episode, that was featuring the Rogue by Paladin Scythe, and I hope Paladin Scythe got some quality feedback out of that one. It was really neat with that alternate win condition, so if you guys haven't seen that one already, I'd recommend you go check that out. And of course we have the Summer of Legends tournament going on right now. We're about halfway through, and if you want to check it out on my Twitch channel, I am streaming all of my tournament matches as we go along, and I'll be uploading them to YouTube as well as soon as I get the time. But if you want to see it live, check it out at twitch.tv/ZeroSkater12. And as always guys, be sure to attack that like button if you enjoy the video, and subscribe for more Unmatched content. And with all that said, let's head on over to Unmatched Maker and check out Don Quixote. Alright guys, here we are on Unmatched Maker yet again, checking out Don Quixote, the Headstrong hero created by PoindexterG. And if you guys are unfamiliar with this site, it's just a fantastic tool for Unmatched that has a card database as well as gives you the ability to create your own custom fan decks on here, and it's just incredible. So big thanks to Jonathan Guberman for creating this site and maintaining it. And with all that said, I mean, this is a blind review like always. I have not looked at any of this yet, so you're going to get my live reaction to everything. And let's go ahead and check out the deck. So, looking at the hero card, we have Don Quixote, of course, as the hero with 17 health, melee fighter. We have the sidekick Sancho Panza. He is also a melee fighter with 7 health. So that's a combined health total of 24, which is pretty sizable. If you combine Arthur and Merlin, I mean, that's 25. And I think the highest we've seen is Beowulf and Wiglaf, which is the 17 plus 9, so you're looking at 26. This is 24, so that's a big health pool. Basic movement of 2, I mean, that's nothing special, but looking at the ability, it says at the end of your turn, if you did not attack this turn, you may make an attack with Don Quixote without spending an action. Wow, that's a really, really powerful ability. So you could do a double maneuver, which is going to let you move 4 and still make an attack. So he's essentially a move 4 hero, although it is important to note that you can only use Don Quixote to make that extra attack. You're not able to use the sidekick Sancho. But I think that's really strong of an ability there, and we're going to have to, of course, see how his cards turn out, but I think that's going to let him be quite an aggressive fighter. So let's move on and take a look at the cards. So, looking at the first card, it's going to be Knight of the Sad Countenance. It is a Don Quixote specific 3 value attack, 2 boost value, 2 copies in the deck, reads during combat, if your fighters share a zone, this card's value is 6 instead. That seems really, really strong. I know a lot of cards that work in a similar fashion often bump the value to 5, you know, like a Momentous Shift would. And to be bumping to 6 is really powerful. So they do have to share a zone, so it's somewhat telegraphed. But even, let's think about Right Hand Man from Buffy's deck with Xander. If Xander and Buffy are adjacent, that card's value becomes a 6. So this is similar. It also becomes a 6. If they feint it, I mean, you still deal 1 damage over the feint, so it's not the worst thing in the world. So you probably want to be playing with your fighters in the same zone almost at all times when you're attacking, at least, just to keep the threat of this card applicable. And I think overall it's quite a strong card. So the next card we're going to see is the Ingenious Gentleman, a 4 value attack with 2 copies as well. Reads after combat, choose one of the following. Either make an attack with Don Quixote without spending an action, or draw 2 cards. wow, this card is crazy good. I mean, the draw 2 cards, that's such an aggressive attack card there. We've seen similar things in like Arthur's deck with the Aid of Morgana, but that's only a singular copy. Other cards like Daring Strike from Buffy or Fatal Struggle from Beowulf both have really negative effects if you lose the combat, and then it nullifies your draw. So this guaranteeing the draw 2 and being a 4-value attack is just huge. Also having that flexibility of being able to make an extra attack, additional attack without spending an action is just huge. So I imagine you'd be able to double maneuver, use your ability to make a free attack with the Ingenious Gentleman, then use the after combat effect of this to then attack again. So that's like 2 maneuvers, 2 attacks, all in 1 turn. Pretty crazy. So I think this card is really good. The flexibility is huge, and I think it's going to make a big impact in the game. So let's move on here. We have a defense card, 4-value defense. Those are always good. So let's see what it does, called the Legendary Helmet of Mambrino. There's 3 copies of this, and it says after combat, place Sancho Panza in a space adjacent to the opposing fighter. If you did, deal 1 damage to the fighter. Wow. That's almost like a decoy from the Raptors. It's not immediately, it's after combat instead, but still that's really strong. You can do surprise pins when your opponent comes to attack you. You defend with this, it's a big defense, so you block a lot of damage. You put Sancho Panza behind them, and suddenly they're in a pin situation, plus you got to deal a free damage with this effect. So I think this card is incredibly strong. People are going to have to watch out for this. It's looking to me like killing off Sancho Panza early might be beneficial because you have your Knight of the Sad Countenance effect that bumps to 6 if they're in the same zone. That can't happen if Sancho is gone. Same thing with the helmet here. Sancho can't go adjacent to the fighter and deal that damage if he's gone. So I think this defense card is really, really strong. So then it looks like we're going to see our first scheme card here called Charging the Giants. And it reads, move Don Quixote up to 5 spaces, then make an attack with Don Quixote without spending an action. If you cannot, reveal your hand and end your turn. So I think there's much more to digest with this card than there seems at first glance, because first of all, moving 5 spaces is more than you can do in your double maneuver, and you get to make an attack without spending an action. So it's almost like a Jackalope Horns in where you get to move and deal damage. Of course, the attack isn't guaranteed damage, but you know, it seems like he's got some good attacks from what we've seen so far. And then on top of that, though, it says if you cannot reveal your hand, end your turn. That means you can use this as your first action. You can move up to 5 spaces away from the opponent, let's say, if you're playing a defensive, fatigue-oriented game. And then you don't make your attack, you reveal your hand, and you end your turn. So that's like a double pass in a way, similar to Invisible Man's Vanish. So I'm assuming that's how this card works. It says make an attack, and if you cannot, so you can't make an attack if there's no fighter adjacent to you, of course. So I assume that you can use this as a double pass if you need to. I don't think that is really the intention of this card. I think Don Quixote seems like more of a all-in, you know, aggressive, you know, charge in there and get him kind of fighter, not necessarily a fatigue fighter. But if the situation ever came up, I think it's cool that this card has that ability. And even just, again, being used as like a Jackalope Horns, moving 5 spaces, making a free attack, then you still have another action to do a normal attack. I think that seems really strong in an aggressive strategy. So I think Charging the Giants seems like an awesome card. So let's keep going here. Looks like another scheme card called To Surrender Dreams, This May Be Madness. And it reads, return the attack, not versatile, card closest to the top of your discard pile to your hand and gain an action. So that's very interesting because it specifically says not a versatile card. So it has to be a red card. And the closest one to the top of your discard pile, you get back to your hand. So in this case, similar to red, you're not going to be able to shuffle your discard pile up. You're going to have to keep it in the same exact order as you play them. But this also gains an action, so it essentially is like a Hoo-Ah from Bruce, where you get to grab your card back, and you just swap the scheme card with a different card from your discard pile. Still have all your actions, so it's just swapping them. And I think this could be really strong because, again, we've seen a couple of really strong attacks in this deck so far. Don Quixote specifically is the only one who can play this card, but it doesn't specify a Don Quixote attack, so you could take a Sancho Panza attack from your discard pile back into your hand if you have one. So we're going to have to see. I mean, this card, how good it is depends on the quality of the attack cards in the deck, but even judging by what we've seen so far, I think this card is decently strong. And speaking of Sancho Panza attacks, here we got a 5-value attack for him called the Squire. And it says, after combat, move Don Quixote up to 2 spaces, then make an attack with Don Quixote without spending an action. If you cannot, reveal your hand. Wow, yet another very strong attack card. If this gets feinted, you're happy because you dealt 3 over the feint. If it doesn't get feinted, though, you get to move Don Quixote and potentially make another attack. Now, you might backfire with this card and have to reveal your hand even though you don't want to, simply because Don Quixote might be out of range, even with the 2 movement spaces, that might not get him close enough to an opponent in order to perform that extra attack. And if that's the case, you're going to have to show your hand to your opponent. And that's kind of unfortunate, but obviously you just have to be wary of that when you're playing this card as an attack. So overall, I think it's a really powerful card. And with 2 copies in the deck, that's going to give Sancho Panza some power when people come to attack him, because, like I mentioned, I think he's going to be targeted, and if that's the case, he's got a strong card to make a counterattack with. So I think the Squire is quite a strong attack. So next up, we're going to have a versatile card for Sancho Panza. It's a 3-value called Back to La Mancha, and it says, move Don Quixote up to 3 spaces. He may move through opposing fighters. So it's not specified here. I'm guessing this is an after combat effect. I'll have to verify that with Poindexter. But it is interesting to see that a lot of these Sancho Panza cards we've seen, they have movement effects, but not for himself. They're for moving Don Quixote instead. So that's going to create an interesting dynamic where when you're engaging and interacting with the sidekick as the opponent, you're going to be bringing the main hero likely closer to you. And Sancho does have that 5-value attack from the Squire, but the big attacks, I think, for the most part, we've seen are from Don Quixote himself. So you're going to be, by targeting Sancho, you're going to be bringing Don Quixote closer, and that's a little bit threatening with all those aggressive attacks that he's got. So I think these movement effects are interesting. I don't know how good they actually are, because often it's better to move yourself with a combat card, because then you can get out of double attack situations. If you're in danger, you can get away. So we're going to have to see how it plays out, but a pretty interesting card nonetheless. Next up, we have another scheme, but this one's an any, and it says, thou hast seen nothing yet. And 3 boost value is pretty big. It says, place Don Quixote in a space adjacent to an opposing fighter in his zone. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal an attack card, not a versatile card. Place it into your hand, return the others, reshuffle your deck. Interesting. So I think this is going to set up well with a turn that looks like maneuvering first into your opponent's zone, playing the scheme card, so you get to then teleport adjacent to the opponent that you just moved into their zone. You're going to get your attack card off of your deck because of this ability, and it doesn't discard the others, so it's not like a risk for fatigue there. It's fine. It's just like drawing 1 card, which is okay. And then you're going to put it in your hand. That'll be your second action. You have not made an attack, so then you get to use your ability, and you get to use that attack that you just dug for using the scheme card, and you get to attack them. So I think that's the typical scenario where you're going to use this card. With that said, I think it's, I don't know. It's okay. I don't think it's great. I think the other scheme is much better. And it is also a little bit weird that this is an any card, yet it says place Don Quixote in a space adjacent to an opposing fighter, not place one of your fighters in a space adjacent to an opposing fighter. So that's a little interesting. I think I would have liked to see, you know, just a generalized effect where you get to place your hero or sidekick adjacent because it's an any card, but I don't know. Overall, we're going to see how useful this one ends up being, but at the very least, it's a 3-value boost, so if you need to close the gap between a big number of spaces there, you can discard it to boost. Alright, so then we're going to see our first any versatile card called the Knight-Errant. And it says, after combat, your fighters may swap spaces. If they do, they each recover 1 health. So that seems pretty good. I mean, we've seen a similar swapping effect with Wiglof's Hot for Battle attack, but that's only an attack card, so this is much more useful on defense because when your opponent comes and inevitably targets Sancho Panza, they come and attack him, you defend with this, and then you swap spaces, and then you're ready to do a double attack on the opponent with Don Quixote, where they thought they were going to end next to Sancho. So it's a nice little swap effect there. Of course, each recovering 1 health is really, really good, too, because that's a total of 2 healing, and it's split between your fighters, and I think you're going to want to heal Sancho pretty often to keep him on board for, you know, those other bonus effects. So I think the Knight-Errant seems like a really, really strong card here. And let's see what's up next. We have another versatile any. This one's called the Balm of Fierabras. And it's a 2-value that says, during combat, if Don Quixote played this card to attack, this card's value is 5 instead. After combat, if Sancho Panza played this card, Don Quixote recovers 2 health. Wow, this seems like a really good card. If Sancho plays this at all, attack or defense, it's going to recover 2 health for Don Quixote, which is really, really good. And if Don Quixote is attacking with this, it's a 5 instead. So similar to a momentous shift. Although if it is feinted, you're not going to deal that 1 extra damage like a shift would over the feint. But still, I mean, this card is really good. The only bad use of this card seems to be if Don Quixote is defending with this, because it's just a blank 2. If Sancho uses it at all, Don's going to recover the 2 health, which is really good. And if Don attacks with it, it's a big attack. So you definitely want to feint this as the opponent. But, you know, it's looking like Don Quixote doesn't have a ton of defense cards in quantity, at least. Got some quality ones, but the quantity doesn't seem too high. So you might have to use this card on defense, you know, in certain situations just to block 2 damage at the very least. So it's an interesting card. It seems quite strong, and we're going to have to see how this one plays out. Then it looks like we have an any attack here, 2-value called Headstrong Charge. It says, during combat, your opponent discards 1 random card. If you started this turn in a different space, add its boost value to this card's attack value. So very similar to an ambush, although it's a little bit nerfed because you have to start this turn in a different space, similar to Momentous Shift, in order to add the boost value to this card's value. It's always going to do the discard, so that's good, but it has that Momentous Shift stipulation tacked on to the attack boost here. So, I mean, overall, still a great card. Not quite as good as an ambush, but almost there, so this is a good one. I like it. Alright, up next is going to be, looks like your standard set of 3 feints. You know, 2-value versatile for an any, immediately cancel all effects on your opponent's card. You know it, you love it. It's feint. And also regroup there. And looks like that is actually going to round out the deck with a playset of regroups. Regroup, obviously, after combat, draw a card. If you won the combat, draw 2 instead. 1-value versatile. It's the same as we know it. So that's going to do it for Don Quixote. And looking down at the deck stats here, we're going to see some interesting totals here. 6 schemes is a little bit on the higher end, especially for an aggressive deck, I feel. But you got to remember that at least one of those schemes is going to give you a free attack. And with his ability, you get those free attacks in if you didn't attack that turn. So it doesn't slow you down as much to use schemes in this deck as it would in some other deck. And if you look at defense totals, I mean, overall, you got 16 combining the versatiles and the defense, which is pretty high. But then if you look at Don Quixote specifically, you only have 13, and you got to remember that 3 of those are regroups. So basically, you got a -3 because those are almost not defenses. And then you're only looking at 10 total, and that's Raptor level defense, and that's really low. So he's definitely going to be an aggro fighter. He's not going to be able to take a lot of hits. And even out of those 10, I mean, there was at least, what, 2, maybe 3 of that card that's just a blank 2 if he defends with it. So you're looking at maybe 7 or 8 actual quality defenses for Don Quixote, and that's really, really low. Sancho has a bit more because he's got the 13 minus 3 regroups. You're looking at 10, so Sancho can actually defend better than Don can, it looks like. And it's going to make for an interesting deck. He's obviously aggressive based on the card effects and the ability that we saw, and that lack of defense is just a killer. So you're going to have to be aggressive and try to end the game quick. So just another quick run through. We got the standard set of 3 regroups. You got your feints. Headstrong Charge is the card that's basically an ambush, but with that momentous shift stipulation. Balm of Fierabras, that is the card that is the blank 2 if Don defends with it. Otherwise, if Sancho uses it, it heals. The Knight-Errant lets you swap and heal your fighters. Thou Hast Seen Nothing Yet, that's the one that digs for your attack card and warps you to a space adjacent. Back to La Mancha, that's Sancho Panza's card that lets him move Don Quixote. And then the Squire is, again, Sancho's big attack that lets him move Don and make a free attack. To Surrender Dreams, this may be Madness. That is the card that is going to, it's like the hoo-ah of the deck, getting your attack back and gaining your action. Charging the Giants is what is basically your Jackalope Horns. You get to move and then make a free attack. The Legendary Helmet, that is your really quality defense there that lets you warp Sancho adjacent and deal the free damage. Ingenious Gentleman, you get to either choose to make an extra attack or draw 2 after combat. And Knight of the Sad Countenance is the card that becomes a 6 if Sancho is in the same zone. So you got quite a strong lineup of cards here. It looks like it'll be pretty consistent because you have a lot of copies of a lot of cards. There's no one-ofs in this deck. Interesting to note, I guess, that everything that Sancho defends with is going to make a difference in health totals. It's either going to deal damage. Well, okay, not just Sancho, but Don Quixote is going to deal damage with his defense here. And Sancho is going to potentially heal Don Quixote on defense with the Knight-Errant or the Balm of Fierabras. So that's adding on even more health total to this deck of, you know, the already high total of 24. So it's going to be a lot of health to get through, although you may be able to get some quick undefended attacks in because Don's defenses are very minimal, as we've discussed. So, but in order to do that, you're going to have to be wary of his, you know, counterattack potential if you're going after him, because he's got a lot of really good attacks. So it'll be interesting to see how this deck plays out. I think, again, Sancho is going to be eliminated quickly to limit Don's options, and that's going to take away a lot of healing and whatnot out of the overall deck capacity. So I think Sancho will go first, and then I think Don's going to have to finish off the game with some big combo attacks. So it's going to be an interesting one to play. I think anybody who's a fan of Raptors or Bruce Lee is really going to have fun with this one, and I'm looking forward to try it out. So let's head on over to Tabletop Simulator and try out Don Quixote. So welcome everyone to the Playtesting Guild round number 14. We're going to be checking out Don Quixote by PoindexterG. And joining me here is Sidious256. So also known as Mike, Big Mike. So how you doing, Mike?
Doing great. Started my vacation today, so gonna enjoy that.
Awesome. Where you at?
Reno, Nevada right now. I own a house here. It's Hot August Nights weekend, so one of the bigger car shows on the West Coast, and I said, what time better to take a vacation than that?
Awesome. Yeah, sounds great. So thanks for taking some time out of your vacation to join me here. And
Absolutely.
Cool. So you had a chance to check out the deck ahead of time. What are some initial thoughts?
Initial thoughts is there's nothing bad to Feint in this deck other than a regroup. That was the first thing I thought was, wow, look at these after combats, during combats, everything that thereof. I mean, there's not really a bad card. You look at it at face value and you're like, wow, this can really do some stuff, including damage and healing and everything possible.
Yep.
And also the like almost like a Bruce Lee-esque where, I mean, in theory, there's a way if you had your deck set up right and nobody feints, so you could possibly have 5 maneuvers in one turn.
Yeah, true. You'll end the game real quick that way.
Oh yeah.
I think, speaking to your Feint point, the only thing that I think you don't necessarily want to use your Feint into is probably, what was it? I think the Squire, because I think that was a 5 value attack for the sidekick. What's his name? Sancho Panza.
Really enjoy the windmill reference to everything, and then the he's on a burro. The Sancho Panza's on a burro.
Yep.
That's sweet.
It is. He did really good thematically with this deck. And I like even the color scheme is all that kind of like tan, beige-ish type color. On all
A lot
the
of thought and
art.
time into this for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how people do it, man. I sit here and I review these custom decks, but I'm not the one making them, so I'm not that
Yeah, and
skilled.
something else I think is, this is another one of those where I think the sidekick is actually super valuable. I always joke around about Porter being a glorified meat shield.
Yeah.
And Jackalope even kind of the same way. I always say that people overvalue Jackalope's 2 damage. It's 6 damage total, but I think people overvalue it personally. But to each their own. And where I look at this deck and I see the sidekick cards and everything, and it's maybe I do need to keep him alive at some cost.
Right.
So,
I definitely agree with that. That was one of the points I was thinking of in my review, is that I think Sancho is very important to the deck. He gives you a decent amount of healing and some extra damage, and I think that's really valuable, so I imagine the opponents will want to target him.
yeah, that's what I would say. Is you try to almost do kill him. Like, I always think of like Little Red's deck, where I always try to, whenever I play, get rid of the Huntsman immediately.
Yeah.
So that you have all those extra cards that are essentially not able to be used other than for boosting and then setting up your next play. And I think that's the same way here, where you would want to almost try to do what you can, get rid of him.
Yep.
Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Get him out of
I totally agree. I think that's the right call, but obviously we're going to find out when we test it. But
Also able to grab a lot of cards back. I thought that was quite interesting.
That's true.
You're able to...
Is it the one scheme that lets you get it back?
Yeah, there's not only a scheme, but I think, well, it might just be the one scheme, but it's 2 scheme cards for sure, and it's return an attack, not a versatile, to the closest to the top of your discard. So if you set it up right, you can pretty much get it to where, you can get those cards that make another attack, or the one that can make your 6.
Right.
So
yeah, this card is almost, I pulled it out here, the Surrender Dreams. That's the card you're talking about, I believe. And
yeah.
It's almost like a Hua from Bruce's deck, right? So it's essentially just a second copy of any attack card currently in your hand, because you can attack with the card, play the scheme, get the attack back, use it again.
Yeah, because you gain the action, exactly.
Yeah, so that's super cool. That's going to make some big combos, I think.
And he basically has an ambush-esque, situation there.
Yeah, it was called what? Headstrong Charge.
Headstrong Charge. I actually like that better than I've always disliked ambush, because it's like, here, I'm taking your card away and I'm using it against you. This one's like, you actually had to put a little work into using this one, which I agree with.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he actually used to have ambush. I'm seeing like just a straight ambush here. So I guess he updated it to make it more of a situational ambush, because now it requires it's like a momentous shift stipulation on it, right, to get the full effect.
Yes.
Which, yeah, I think that makes it more thematic for sure, and nerfs it a little bit, because ambush is like one of the best attacks in the game.
I agree completely. It not only it can be devastating, like I always say, like, let's not necessarily for the boost value, but you take the last beast form from Dracula, where that was his win condition, and it's like, oh, that's that changed the whole game now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, it looks like Gary got me the updated version, so let me just move that over in my files and whatnot, and hopefully we'll have the current version good to go. Now we got the fully updated version of the deck. So yeah, I think the Squire, used to be a 4, now it's a 5, which when you mentioned the Feint, I think this is the one card you do not want to Feint as the opponent, because then you still take 3 and that hurts.
Yes.
Of
And
course,
then,
as Don or Sancho, I mean, you want to pull off this effect because it's going to give you another free attack, but still, I'll take 3 damage if I can get it and waste a feint, you know.
I absolutely agree. And not only that, you could be trying to fate bait with it, because what if you are not, 2 spaces away, and then you have to reveal your hand to the other opponent, so...
Yep, that's a great point too, which, I mean, that's unfortunate. Although it is an attack, so you can control when you use it, and you can avoid that situation for the most part. But here's that Headstrong charge we talked about. That's the ambush-like card. Very thematic. I like that a lot. Yeah, if you take out Sancho, I mean, you take away healing from this card here, the Knight-Errant, and because if they can't swap, they don't recover. And then also, what's the other one? Here, the Balm of Fierabras. So, Sancho, if he plays it on attack or defense, then Don recovers too. But if Sancho can't play it, obviously you can't get the heal.
Yeah, that's very versatile. And, no pun intended, it is a versatile card, but
right.
Very, very, very versatile. Extra versatile card.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And another point, too, I brought up in my review was that it seems like there's kind of a lot of schemes in this deck. There's 6 of them, but, normally in an aggressive deck, you don't necessarily want all those schemes. But with Don's ability here to be able to make a free attack, even if he, if you maneuver and you scheme, normally that'd be the end of your turn, but with Don's ability, you can still attack, even though you spent time using the scheme. So it doesn't necessarily slow him down like it would other fighters.
And I was almost wondering, I'm assuming, but, this one says, what is it here? The one that's like, I always say it's kind of like the Crash of the Trees from Bigfoot, where it's you move Don Quixote 5 spaces, then you make an attack without spending an action. So would that mean that, let's say you do that scheme, and then, you maneuvered, you do that scheme, would you then be able to use your end of turn action? Because, I mean, he does make an attack, but it's due to the scheme.
Right.
And it doesn't spend an action. You know what I mean? Something like that is what I was also wondering, right away.
That's a good question. I think the ability takes into account any form of attack. That would be my take on it, that even if you attack through the effect of the scheme, you still technically attacked and therefore can't use the ability.
I mean, I was assuming what you're thinking, but, there's always the idea, well, it was a scheme card, not an actual, hey,
right.
I'm going to attack you.
So he just did confirm, yeah, that is the way it works. So the scheme, even though it's a scheme effect making you attack, you still attacked, so you cannot use your ability after that.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
And, this could be like I always, card burning, because, I'm taking 2 cards and then attacking you for free. So, you can always burn through that hand fairly quickly if you're pulling all the schemes right away.
Yep, true. Gary says Don has a Raptor/Bruce style super combo. Let's see what it is. He says action 1, charging giants. So this scheme, you charge in, play a free Headstrong charge. That's the ambush. So you charge in from 5 spaces, hit him with an ambush. Action 2, use the Squire for a free... Okay, so action 2, if you got Sancho adjacent, hit him with that into Ingenious Gentleman. Into another free Ingenious Gentleman.
Yeah, and then into
a Headstrong
the one
charge.
that makes it a 6.
Or, yeah, that too. But, wow. So this is what Gary's saying. You charge in, hit him with an ambush, hit him with the Squire, into a free Ingenious Gentleman for another free attack for another ambush.
I'm having Bruce Lee flashbacks where I was Invisible Man with no defense.
Oh, that's brutal.
The worst feeling ever.
Yeah, this would be such an insane combo. All right, we're going to have to look out for this one while we play.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a hell of a hand to hold to be able to do it. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
But, law of large numbers says it's going to be possible eventually, right?
Right. But then again, this is 6 cards out of your hand, so you got to be, maybe holding 1 defense and the rest, this specific combo, and that's pretty risky. So, he's obviously an aggressive fighter, so we're going to see what kind of combos we can pull off. But any other initial thoughts, or are you ready to get into the game?
The only other thing is, I think somebody like Muldoon or Robin who can control the game just via their ranged ability and then how they can manipulate the board to never have somebody adjacent would, I feel like, do fairly well against him. Where
Mm-hmm.
you look at other characters like Invisible Man, who, if you get him well enough, or I wouldn't even say he's got a lot of movement, like somebody who doesn't have high movement, um, and just able to keep pounding him, he's going to do
Yeah.
really well against.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll do pretty well against someone like Beowulf, who has limited defenses and not a lot of mobility. Um, so do you want to play him first, or do you want me to play him first?
Oh, that doesn't bother me at all. If you were wanting to, you go right ahead, and then I'll play whatever it
Okay.
may or may not be.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll play him first, and you go ahead and choose who you think you want to play as against him.
Why don't we try to get I'm trying to think of who would be a halfway decent matchup, necessarily, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Because I don't want to just try to, like, if my theory was correct, I don't want to drop Muldoon right now. That'd be kind of not the essence of why we do this, right?
Right.
So,
Well, let's also think about who do you normally play, and then I'll think about who I normally play as pretty well, and that way we can make sure that, if we want to see a test against Robin Hood, if you're good at playing Robin Hood, you might as well do that now and not have me play Robin.
no, that's fair. I want to say that I would into this. What I was thinking was almost a Sinbad matchup, where I would be Sinbad.
Okay.
I feel like that would be interesting.
That's cool,
I
because
don't
I
know.
don't play much Sinbad, so if you're cool with Sinbad, we can do that.
Yeah, I quite enjoy Sinbad. I've used him a couple of times this tournament.
Cool.
And I feel all right with him, at least.
Well, that sounds perfect. Also, I mean, Sinbad is really aggressive a lot of times, and with Don's limited defenses, that's going to be pretty difficult for Don to keep up. Although, if he can turn it around and keep the aggression up on Sinbad, maybe he can scare him away, First or second? Let's just roll a die. We'll say evens, I'll start, odds, you start.
Fair enough.
Cool. Go ahead and roll. Evens me, odds you.
Nat 20.
Big 20.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
All right. Cool. So I am first. And this is not tourney play, so we'll skip the mulligan.
Unfortunately.
Take what you get.
Take what I get.
Okay, I think I want to start Sancho aggressively.
Ooh.
Probably right up here. Yeah, let's start him there. That sounds good.
Oh, do I want to let him? You know what? I always say he's a meat shield, but let's give him a chance, maybe. Just give him a little bit of a chance, huh?
Yeah. All right, Mike, you ready?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
How aggressive do I want to start is the question.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, is that this is probably a straight aggression deck almost when you look at it at face value.
Yeah. I think I will start out with a maneuver. Put him there, put this guy over here. All right, let's go ahead and make an attack with Mr. Sancho here into Sinbad.
Okay. Could this be the 5 already? That would be wild. Why don't I just turn around? Do you want me to play face up, or do you want me to do the flip?
It don't matter. Either one is fine.
I'm just going to toil in danger then.
Toil and danger. Okay, I have just a regroup. So,
Nice.
Yep. So you get to
All
move,
right.
and then I'll draw one.
How about I move? I'll move here real quick.
All right, and you're up.
All right, I will start with a maneuver. Oh, I guess I should actually pull one card and not turn the deck. I'll move here. I will attack with the porter onto our friend Sancho.
Porter. So I gotta think this is your draw card because you don't have a lot of cards in hand. So let's throw out a feint. I know it might be preemptive, but
It is momentous.
Dang. Okay. So I'm going to take 1 onto Sancho. That's unfortunate. First action, I will have Sancho hit Porter.
I'm going to assume this is the 5 card because of the way it was, and you did use a regroup already. Would you regroup me twice is the real question.
That's always the question.
That's always the question, right? That being said, do I want to waste any of my valuable defense cards right away? Not necessarily, but because of my hand size, I'm going to.
Okay.
And that isn't any.
Yep, so
Okay,
I got one of those exploits out of here. So that'll be your effect going first. You get to draw. And then I get to move Don up to 2 and make an attack with Don. So let's go ahead and attack with... And this is a free attack, right? Yep. So I still have 1 more action after this. Okay, let's hit Porter with Don. For free.
For free. You know, I always say, would you waste the one that turns a 6 into a friendly, but you always have that scheme that can pull it back almost. So the mind games already begin.
True.
That being said, I guess I can always, whenever I shall get those Porter cards, use them as boosts if I don't have many of my... Yeah, we'll let it happen.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
So Don attacked, so it is a 5.
Oh, yeah. So he goes bye-bye.
Get him out of here.
All right. Get him out of here. The meat shield lasted not as long as you wanted.
Not at all. And I get 1 more action, so I will do a nice maneuver. And, okay, I'm good there. Your turn. Now you're going to need specifically Voyage Home or Commanding Impact if you want to reach me.
That's right. I don't even think Voyage Home would work because that's only a 1 boost.
True, but then you have the Voyage in the discard
the boost
pile.
the Voyage with it. You're right. That would be very bold of me to get rid of it without it.
True. Please do if you have it. I wouldn't mind.
That would be one of those. All right, bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for them.
Yep.
I'll maneuver, and then I'm going to throw myself over here.
Into the loop.
Into the loop. I know. Granted, you are very, very melee, but you can siphon me off right away. We'll see here, huh? And then I'll maneuver again, leaving me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I will end there.
Cool. Let's see what I want to do. I will start with a maneuver. Okay, you're 5 spaces away, so I can't quite double maneuver and get my free attack. Unfortunately.
Always boost to get there.
True. I don't know if that's worth it. 1, 2. I'll do another maneuver. I'll go right there, and it's your turn.
Okay. I will obviously maneuver. Let's boost it a little, shall we? Let me get out of there, and then depending on what's next, which will be another maneuver. How about I go there, and with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in my hand, I believe. So I think we're good.
Yep, you are good. Okay, what am I gonna do? Let's do a scheme charging the giants. So we're gonna move up to 5. Yep. Let's go 1, 2. And I get to make a free attack without using an action. So, still essentially my first action. Attack Sinbad with Don.
We'll toil in danger again. Or
All
toil
right.
in danger, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one. So mine is a 6 since they share the zone.
Oh, yeah.
That's
so
a
3
big
damage
hit.
there.
Yep, and then you get your ability. You get to move up to 3.
I'll go over here.
Okay. Now I have 1 more. Well, unfortunately, I think I'm just going to have to maneuver.
Why are you running? Why
I'm a
are
little
you
scared. Okay. I will end there. Your turn.
running? Okay. How about I maneuver? Let's boost it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will attack the sidekick Pancho. Or Sancho. Sorry.
I wanted you to attack Don, not Sancho.
I know.
But luckily, I will defend with back to La Mancha.
Uh-oh, does that mean that your boy gets to come back?
It does. Ooh, nice
I'm
heal.
gonna... Yeah, heal too.
All right, and that's
And
a voyage
then
in play.
First voyage.
And now I get to move Don up to 3. So we'll go 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
All right. Now I'm gonna play to surrender dreams. This may be madness. So I'll return the top attack specifically of my discard pile, which is gonna be Knights of the Sad Countenance.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes to hand, and I gain an action.
Mm-hmm.
So let's throw out an attack with Don onto Sinbad.
Let's feint it.
Yeah. That was a little too telegraphed, but I thought maybe you didn't have a feint, or maybe you'd think I'm playing a mind game.
Hey, that's what I think half of this game is over half is mind games.
Oh, for sure. So let's do a maneuver second action.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go there. And it's your turn.
Okay, I'll start with the maneuver. And let's attack our friend here.
Not what I want to see. I'm going to take it. Oh,
Okay.
that is brutal, man.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing something else, and I'm glad I didn't.
Dang it.
I will leave it there.
Yep, you get to draw one as
Okay,
well.
so I draw one card,
Mhm.
and I leave it to you, sir.
Cool. All right, I'm going to go with a maneuver. Let's go 1, 2, 1, 2. I will maneuver again. I'm going to boost this one with Thou Hast Seen Nothing Yet.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Baby. Okay.
So I get
There you
to
go.
move 5.
That is the second one, yes? No more of those.
That's the first one only.
Oh, was it?
Yep,
Oh,
I
you're
played the
right.
charge before. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll end there.
Almost like you want me to attack you, friend.
I'm out of range. I'm okay. You're not getting to Sancho.
That is correct. So why don't I maneuver, which I pulled my card. I'll go ahead and boost it. 1. Oh, sorry.
Man, that's what you were debating doing before, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That is unfortunate. I wish you would have.
That would have been something else, huh? And why don't I try to attack our friend Don with this card? Yeah, that is actually exactly what I was going to do, was try to regroup you. And then I thought, you know what? I just pulled this commanding impact. Let's do it.
That's unfortunate. Okay, so Sinbad's hitting Don. I gotta think it's a voyage of some sort, which is only gonna be a 3 value. So let's go ahead and do this. Legendary Helmet of Mambrino.
Oh, I might be trapped here.
You are indeed. What do you got?
That being said, you're in my head. I used a voyage.
Yep. So I will go with mine first. Yours is a 3, so no combat damage. Let's put Sancho adjacent, and that will deal 1 damage to Sinbad.
That it will, and I will draw my 1 card.
Sweet. All right. Now what am I gonna do?
Ooh, question of the hour.
Well, I don't necessarily want Sancho right there. Let's start with a maneuver. Let's go 1, 2. If I get 4 away, you're still in range. know what?
You can double maneuver and attack for free.
I could. And I could boost as well. Well, if I double maneuver, I don't get out of range unless I boost. I'm going to do a cool thing here. I'm going to play a scheme. This is the second copy of Thou Hast Seen Nothing Yet. So I get to place Don in a space adjacent to the opposing fighter in my zone. So let's go there. And I then reveal cards from the top of my deck until I get an attack card, and I put that in my hand, return the others, and shuffle the deck. So let's see what I get. That is an attack card. So yeah, that's going to be Headstrong Charge going to my hand. That is the ambush type card. So
well, I know what you're using next.
Now I get to make a free attack if I so choose, which I will do.
All right, well, we all know that it's probably going to be that one. You got to move your spot, which is good news for you, bad news for me. So I got to think of a defense here that I want to use that I don't want pulled. This here.
Oh, leap away. That's not what I wanted to see, because you are going to end up winning this combat.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, that means Sancho is sadly in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
All right, shuffle up your hand. Let's see what I get.
I don't need to shuffle it. You pull.
Okay.
I'm going straight bold. Okay, thank God.
Bam, there goes
All
the
right.
shift. That's a pretty decent one. I'm okay with that. But you win the combat, so you get your effect.
I'm going to turn around and move you 2, right? Is that correct?
Well,
up to 4
Yeah.
spaces. You're good over there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I knew you were going to do that. I knew that was the risk when I played it. Good play. You're up.
All right, I will first maneuver. And then I will attack with my guy Sinbad onto your friend Sancho. I don't know why that ping went all the way over there.
All right, if it's a voyage, it's a 5. Which means if it's 5, I mean, Sancho's dead no matter what. What's the chances that you're going to be baiting with maybe another regroup because you have low cards?
No.
And
no, not me. Not me. You're good.
It would kill me off and you'd draw 2 and you'd be in a fantastic position. You know, so I'm going to take a risk here and we're going to defend.
Okay.
And hope it's a regroup.
Good defend.
Oh, thank goodness. All right. So he lives.
All right. So what does yours do here? It Mace Water. They each recover 1 health. Wow. Okay.
Oh, thank God. So now Sancho even gets to heal 1. So I am definitely going to swap them.
And I will definitely move 3 away.
Yeah. Oh, thank goodness. That was intense.
Yeah, put a lot of thought into that, and I maybe played the wrong card. That's all I can say.
All right. Well, I will go ahead and maneuver. And I am able to keep up hand advantage and pressure here for free because I don't have to use an attack action. I can use my ability, which is really cool. So let's maneuver 1, 2. And your movement is forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could hit the purple. If you boost, you can hit these 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boost here. Hit that one. Okay. Sancho's safe there. I'll do another maneuver. Now you'd have to boost to hit Sancho here. That's already 2 momentous shifts down and a commanding impact gone. So I think I'm pretty safe going there. And if you leap away me, you still can't get to Sancho. So let's do that. And let's take my free attack with my ability with Don, and let's hit Sinbad.
I'll defend with this exploit.
Exploit. Okay, I got another Headstrong Charge. So mine's during combat, so mine's going to go before you draw.
Oh, actually, let me shuffle these real quick.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's go. Big money.
Okay.
Oh, no. Actually, you know what? I'll take that in this situation.
That was actually going to be my next move, so
I'll take it.
You did well.
Sweet. The
All
one time
right,
you're
I
happy to
will
hit that.
turn around and hope that that was your last one of those, which it was. And I will draw my one free card.
Yep, and it's your turn.
I will maneuver.
Oh, come on, I'm right there. You can attack me.
I could. I absolutely could. Why don't I go here? I'm going to make you boost to me as well with him. Granted, Sancho could change that right away. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'll maneuver again, and I will leave it to you.
All right, cool. Let's go with a maneuver, of course. I really like this free attack thing, dude. It lets you keep up so much aggression. It's kind of crazy.
I am. You don't need to boost to ever get to me, really. You know, that's a big thing with a lot of characters is, oh, I'm only one space away. Well, now you don't got to worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, he's essentially a move 4 fighter, which is nuts. 1, 2. Let's do just another maneuver. Why not? And, let's hop him back 1 just to be safe. Let's put him up, and let's take my free attack.
Let's feint it.
Oh, good feint. It was the 6.
Yeah, I was figuring that was
big. But
hopping around there. Honestly, I thought you were going to use the extra attack after.
Yeah, but that's what? Second feint down, I think?
Oh, yeah. No, it is. It might be the third one.
No, that's the second one. Second feint, but you've used almost all your toils. You've used both exploits and 1 leap away, so I'm really running you out of defense here, actually.
Yeah, that keep the pressure on is actually working quite well for you.
Yeah. All right, you're up.
I will maneuver. I will attack our friend.
Now, again, we're in that situation where this could be the shift, in which case Sancho will most likely die. I don't think he has any force. But if it's not that last shift specifically, it could be the voyage, which is only a 4. So if I defend with a 3, he stays alive. It could be the ape's voyage, and that would kill him. Tough choice here. I think I gotta just take the chance and go for the heal.
Good chance.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna take 1 in the combat. I'm gonna get my effect first, right? Yep. So I will swap them. Let's heal 1 for Sancho. Dang it.
Oh yeah, Sinbad's wonderful.
There we go. And then I heal 1 back, and unfortunately, you get your effect and you can get away from Don.
And I will.
Okay, my turn then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I kind of want to keep pressure, but I kind of want to get Sancho out of there.
I think you've gotten much value out of him, personally.
Yeah.
And I've not been playing this correctly. I'm running into that point where it's like, do I have enough damage to even hurt Senor Quixote?
That's true. I think I'm going to start with a maneuver. Let's do a second maneuver. Let's just end him there, and let's take my free attack with Don. Yeah, okay. That's what I was a little worried about. Yep, you'll take 1 in the combat.
Okay.
Yours goes first.
And then I'll move.
Yep, and I will... Well, I can't make another attack, so I'm going to draw the 2 cards. And, you're up.
Oh, well, fatigue just changed direction, but why don't I first... It's a lot of cards in your hand, and not a lot in mine, so why don't I maneuver? And then why don't I maneuver again? And your turn.
So you are severely running out of defenses here. You have 1 leap away, 1 feint, and 1 shift. Other than that, you have regroups, which are bad defenses and will probably hurt you more than help with fatigue setting in. So I want to be aggressive here. All right, let's do a charging the giant scheme. So Don gets to move and do a free attack.
Mm-hmm.
So right there, let's hit you with this card.
I'll take it.
Ooh. Just a regroup, sadly. It was a good one to take. And now I am being severely threatened by fatigue. But let's do scheme here. Surrender dreams. Let's get back my Ingenious Gentleman. And I gain an action. Let's attack with Don into Sinbad.
I'll take it.
That is Ingenious Gentleman, so there's 4. I'm obviously going to gain the extra attack. I'm thinking of what I want to attack with. You know what? Let's hit you with this.
Go for it.
Alright, sadly, all it is a
Just
feint.
6? Oh.
Man, I
okay.
wish it was the 6. Well, the 6 wouldn't trigger here, actually.
Oh, okay.
But it's just a feint, and I'll end my turn there.
Oh, boy. I will maneuver. I'm going to attack Senor Friend. Senor Sancho.
Okay, so if this is a voyage...
Can I change? Hold on. Can I change my card?
Yeah,
I
you can
realized something. I
change it.
pulled wrong.
That's fine.
Is that okay?
Yep, totally.
Okay. I will use this card to attack him.
Okay. Now, if it's a voyage, it's going to be a 5 now, which will kill me over a 3 defense. Would you dare attack with that last leap away? That's the question. You maneuvered first, right?
Try to get out? Yes, I did.
You
To try
did.
to get out? Come on, I wouldn't do that. That'd be insane.
I bet you would do something crazy like that.
No.
Which means a leap away kills over a feint. A voyage kills over a 3. Which one is it? You know what? I don't care too much, I guess, if you leap away. So let's toss the feint out there.
Yeah, good call, Fand.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
Sancho
I will leave it to you.
lives. He lives another day. Let's keep up with the aggression. Let's have Sancho attack Sinbad.
All right, pull the 5 and kill me, brother.
You got it? No defense?
No defense.
All right.
I thought what I was going to do was just turn around, and I've been pulling only attack cards for probably 4 turns now. That last toil, like this toil and dagger I've had in my hand, as well as this one since the beginning.
Oh my gosh.
I've been trying to have you pulled twice, and I thought you were going to pull this both times when I had low hand count.
Yeah.
And I played this terribly, if I'm being honest. I did not keep a decent hand count at all.
Yeah.
And then that being said, I kind of am wondering how far away. If I would have pulled the last, well, now it won't let me right click it.
Well, so this is
spread. There we go.
Okay, so
there they are.
Next up was just a regroup, and then a regroup.
Yeah.
That's sad. Then it was feint, leap away, shift. Those were what you needed, but they were a little ways down.
Yeah, there was no chance of me coming out of that. So I jokingly thought to myself, well, why don't I just try to take at least one of them out? But
yeah,
that's kind of where I was at.
So the funny thing is, though, if you would have taken Sancho out, this was my hand. So I had no attacks for Don specifically. I had both of these Sancho cards. I had the feint. Well, I used the feint, right? But the feint wouldn't even kill you. So let's see what my next card was. Okay, that would have helped me for sure. But at the time, I didn't have any Don attacks. So I really wanted to keep Sancho alive just to keep up the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how sometimes it may or may not go. And I think I still played it how I would play this in any other scenario, where I try to just pound out the sidekick as best I can, especially with, I think, as how valuable he is. I mean, I stress that, and I think it showed this game. He was very valuable.
Big
he
time.
healed. I mean, decent numbers.
Yeah. The funny thing is, he didn't heal Don. He only healed himself.
Yeah, I never attacked Don. I don't think I attacked him once.
Yeah. But look at what I had left in deck for attacks. I mean, I literally had this one. Then this was Sancho. This is, I guess, the last good one. It can be a 5 if Don uses it to attack, but then I have a regroup. So I really didn't have many attacks left in deck.
Yeah, and then that's where you start to get into the... I also burned your feints. You know, if I had, even let's say I pulled it off this round and I magically had the 4 and the 3 defenses, it'd be, can I get these last voyages out to do a bunch of damage?
Yep.
So,
and it would have been guaranteed because I didn't have any feints left. I only had these 4s, and if Sancho's dead, then they're just blank 4s, you know? So, I think you would have been
No,
able to close it out. It was close.
Yeah, there's a lot of what ifs. I think it was still. I think that's as best as I would have played it. I think the only thing differently I would have done was been a lot more precise with my hand count more than anything else. I even think I would have let. Earlier, I defended with a 4.
On Porter.
Yeah, on Porter, and I'm very, very well known, including the close friend group with Tommy Elliott and another couple of friends. I just let him die immediately. If I don't care if I've used none of the Porter cards, all the Porter, I just let him die immediately.
That's funny.
I don't even defend him. Just meat shield. I use him to hopefully position so that nobody can do some sneaky things,
Right. And
So
funny that you talk about the hand count thing too, because I got really lucky and I hit with my Headstrong charges. I hit a shift out of your hand, which could have been a valuable defense, and I hit that scheme.
I was going to use it next. That's 100% correct.
Yeah.
I do mean that. I was absolutely going to use that.
Yeah, that was just a super lucky hit. And that's funny because a lot of times people don't even use this card. They just always discard it for boost because you don't usually need it. But with the pressure that Don can put up with that double maneuver and still being able to attack, it's huge pressure. And so this would have been really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool game. That was
That
fun.
being said, let's flip it over, and then you're gonna use either, I believe it was Robin or Muldoon.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go with Robin because not only can he block off Don from being able to reach Robin himself, but his card draw might be able to keep up the pressure. Muldoon's more of a sit back and wait kind of guy, and that doesn't sound nearly as fun as a counterattack kind of pressure matchup. So what are we thinking for a map here? You want to go with Soho?
Why not?
That can be okay. That'll be interesting because what Soho does is it lets Robin sit in the middle of the map and basically
right there and control every zone.
Exactly, every single zone he can get to with a single maneuver, do an attack, and hop back right to that space to control the whole map, and that lets him keep up consistent pressure. So we'll see if Don is able to counteract that pressure with like his double maneuver and free attack ability.
That's kind of what I was thinking, and that's and with Soho being as I think close proximity as it may be, I think that's good. The only thing that could hinder that is that the charging the giants doesn't let you move through opponents.
Exactly. You know, a cool thing to think about though is that the normal flow of a game is that a lot of times player 1 double maneuvers and then player 2 is forced to also double maneuver, and if they don't, they put themselves at a big hand disadvantage right off the bat. But Don can go double maneuver and then use his ability to attack.
And then attack. That's what exactly what I was thinking is, it's like you think I'm trapped here in here with you, you're trapped in here with me.
Right, so he almost like turns the tides and he flips the tempo around to be the aggressor like right off the bat, which is really, really cool. Okay, you ready?
Absolutely.
Here we go. I'll start us off with a maneuver.
Is he going to boost his first action?
That's the question here. I think if I boost my first maneuver, obviously it would be to make an attack. And if I do that, my boost brings me to 5. My attack brings me to 4 cards in hand. And I think that's incredibly dangerous against Don. So I'm actually going to choose not to do that.
Yeah, I totally understand because I could double maneuver and I still have the hand advantage and the ability to attack.
Exactly. That's just too much. I don't think I can handle that. Bring all these guys forward and let's do another maneuver. I'll end there. All right, you're up.
I will start with a maneuver. I will go, let's start like this. And then I'm going to scheme. And it's the Thou Hast Seen Nothing Yet. Good old Bachman Turner Overdrive coming in.
Let's see.
And so I will essentially pull cards until I get an attack card.
Do you want to keep him right where he's at as far as the movement goes?
Yeah, I've been thinking that, and I do.
Okay.
I do.
That's fine.
And then, so I'll just go here until I pull a... Okay, well, you saw armor. There we
There
go.
you go.
So it is the big boy,
Yep.
or the possible big boy. I will
Yep.
flip these, put these all back, and then reshuffle. I will place this in my hand, and because that was a maneuver and a scheme, I have the ability to attack,
Yep.
which I will do against that outlaw. I will use this card.
I feel like there's no possible way he lives. The 6 would kill him. That 4 that draws or does another attack would kill him. The 2 that becomes a 5 would kill him. I mean, I guess a feint or a regroup, but would you really be using those? You probably want to save feints for highway robberies. It could be a regroup because that would put you at 7, though. So, I guess to defend against that, I'm going to toss a regroup of my own.
Good call. Really good call.
Oh my gosh, it was the regroup. All right.
Yes, sir. That was a really good call.
Cool, thank you.
You're in my head. You got me going.
All right, so
All
I
right.
win, so I'm going to draw the 2.
Yep, and I'll draw the 1.
And that was your last action, right? Cool. All right, I have 8 cards in hand, so let's unload some of these attacks here. Now, see, I don't know. Should I go after Sancho or should I go after Don? Because I am ranged, so I can technically ignore the sidekick and not even worry about him.
You have a good point.
Scary thing is if I attack Don with an outlaw and you use your 4 value defense, the outlaw will die. Unless, of course, it's a highway robbery. Let's go outlaw attack into Don.
I think it's a highway robbery, and I'm going to take it.
Yeah, good
Okay.
call, good call. That's
Okay.
always the game, the mind game with the outlaws. Let's have outlaw hit Don again.
How about we feint this one?
Oh my god, you're a pro. You got the
All right.
ambush.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was going to be.
Good
If
stuff.
I'm being honest, I was like, he would probably highway robbery into ambush. That's what I like to do when I play Robin, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
So,
because, well, the thing
Future
is...
tournament players who are watching, and if you ever get matched up against me, that's my usually go-to.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart, though, because, you know, the highway robbery kind of... It's safe always, right? If they use a feint, I mean, you're fine with that. You still got 3 robberies to their 2 feints, and it kind of gauges how they react to the outlaw attacks. And then once you learn how they react, it sets you up for your next attack, which you knew that, and then you feinted the second one because you didn't defend the first time. So I would sit and think, oh, the ambush is going to go undefended, but you feinted that. It was a good call.
Yeah.
Well
Sometimes
played.
I'm even thinking of myself that
Well
way.
played. I'm going to use my ability hop back, and it's your turn.
Okay, how about I first maneuver? I'll maneuver again. Make it 7 cards in my hand. And that being said, why don't I use my after combat? I will use Quixote to attack said outlaw with this card.
Well, it's not going to be a regroup this time because you got 6 cards in hand. At least I don't think. And if it is, I'm fine.
definitely paint baiting. Definitely with a regroup.
If it's a regroup, I'm fine with you overdrawing, honestly, because as we saw last time, Don kind of ran out of steam towards the end. So I'm just going to take this one.
Okay.
Nice, nice. Okay, so that'll kill the outlaw, and you do get your option here. I'm sure it's going to be a
I
free
will
attack.
attack again.
Yeah, no surprise there. Into the other outlaw, which I set up perfectly for you. I should not have done that. My plan was like, okay, you come in, I bait you into attacking an outlaw, but that ends your turn, and then I attack with the second outlaw, but obviously you found a way around that. I think I am safe, though, to do this Defenders of Sherwood.
Yeah.
Because... Oh, wow, he doesn't even die, does he?
Nope.
Okay.
Or, well, does he? He dies because...
No, because you don't
he's
have
not in
Sancho.
Sancho's...
moved
I didn't
away.
even see that. I did not realize. I should have kept him here. I was thinking that, too. I was like, oh, I can make this a 6. I don't know why I ran with him. I must have thought that he was getting attacked soon.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, that's how it goes.
All right, so my plan there was even if he died, obviously I'd just pop a new one down right there. So let's draw one.
1 down, and Sherwood guy returns.
Let's put him there. Sherwood guy. I love that. Let's have that outlaw hit Don.
That outlaw hit Don?
Yeah, let's get him.
Let's take it. You gotta ambush me right now?
Nah, that's the
Nope.
highway. Let's hit Don again.
Would you do it again? Would you have 3? Would you have 3 highway robberies
Yeah,
right
that's the
away?
better question, right? Would I even have it? I
What
don't
else
know
could you
about you, but
attack?
I personally always get screwed over by asking myself that question.
I know, this is such a hard decision. I'm not even trying to be cheeky about it. I might have to take a second to think about it. You know what? We're gonna take it again. What do we got?
Oh, this is a big one.
Oh, it's a
There's the
Wily.
Wily. So there's 4.
Okay. Well, I'm playing poorly, but this is the mind game that the outlaws give you.
That is correct.
Will he defend or will he not?
Yep. And, you know, part of the reason why I was okay with having this outlaw double attack was because I'm not in danger of it just dying with your blue defense card since I'm sandwiched.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct.
But I'm just going to keep him there so I can keep Robin safe, and I'll pass it over to you.
All right, we need to start making big decisions soon. That being said, why don't I maneuver? And then I'll maneuver again. Go here and there. And then why don't I try to attack with this?
Okay, so Don into the outlaw here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to take that one.
Okay.
Okay, I'm glad. That was
Yep.
the big 6. Is that your second one?
Oh, is it?
It is.
It is. It is.
Okay,
It is.
good deal. But you can still get it back, so I gotta just be careful that you can't hit Robin anytime soon. Alright, I'm gonna do a maneuver to start. Let's have Outlaw hit Don.
I'm going to be very sad. Very, very sad if this is another highway robbery.
No, it's just a regroup this time.
Okay. So why don't I actually do that? I am able to, they may swap, and if they do, they each heal a health.
Yeah, that's a
Not
good
to
one
at
there.
full, but I'll take my one.
Yeah, that's good. See, it's interesting because I feel like that effect is so strong if you pull off the healing for both fighters. I don't think that's going to happen very often because I think people are going to target one or the other, you know? So I feel like you're only going to ever really get one healing out of it most cases. So I'll take my draw for the regroup. I'll hop back one, and it's your go.
Okay, the first thing I will do is I will scheme to, as you said, bring back that attack card.
Yeah.
I will maneuver as my second action.
You know what? Elevator 15, he brought up a good point in the chat. With that card, it's a good counter against the ping damage from Medusa. Because, yeah, you're able to, you know, eat that ping damage without any worry when you just get to heal it back.
That's actually a phenomenal point.
Yeah.
I'm going to move here. And because I schemed and then I maneuvered, why don't I hit the merry man?
I will defend against this one. Let's use my other defenders of Sherwood.
Okay.
All right, so yours is a 5. So he dies off. I will draw a card and res him in the same spot.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and hit with Robin into Don.
I'm going to defend with the flat 4.
Cool. So mine is a piercing shot 2. You are not able to place adjacent since I'm sandwiched.
Mm-hmm.
So I will draw my 2 cards. And I will be happy with that result. Next up, let's have the Outlaw hit Don.
Yeah, we'll take it.
All right, this one is the ambush.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right.
Uh-oh.
Let's get a big one
All
here.
right, what are you pulling? Go ahead, take it. I don't even need to shuffle. Okay.
All right, that's a good one to hit. So you're going to take 4. And it is your turn, sir.
Yeah, why don't I first maneuver, and then I will maneuver again, and then I will go here.
You sure you want to leave Sancho in range?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. It's my turn, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's have Robin hit Sancho. Ooh, good one. Okay, so mine is Hunter's Eye. So that's a sacrifice 3 health of Sancho for 2 health gain of Don, which is probably a good trade there. And let's have Robin hit Sancho again.
Let's do it. I'll stay undefended.
No defense?
No defense.
All right. There we go.
He gone.
He's
I
gone.
figured as much.
Alrighty, it is your turn.
All right. How do we want to handle this now? I think you're right with that strategy. Just sandwich them in, and then make sure that Robin can't be touched, and you're sitting pretty.
Yep. For now.
For now. For now. I still have 8 health.
I mean, I got you pretty low, but if you can start picking off these outlaws safely, I think you'll be in a decently good position.
Well, let's try to maneuver. And then you're in a kind of decent spot. So why don't I go here first? And because of that, this is what like I said, this is where that double maneuver, based on my card I drew, and then the next one I can decide, hey, let me get closer and attack or not.
Right.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll maneuver again, and we will go here.
Nice. Yep, so now you're 3 away from everybody. Well, I guess I could maneuver with Robin, but
yeah, that's like I said, the one thing about Soho and this map is
yeah,
good old Robin.
yeah, it's big. So I'll maneuver. Go the 2, and let's have Robin hit Don.
I'll go undefended.
Oh, this is massive. That is my last Hunter's Eye.
Yeah.
And I will, of course, hop back to my safety spot, and you're up.
Okay, I will maneuver. And I'll maneuver again. Why don't I go there, and then I will attack with this here card.
I'm going to take that.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Go ahead and grab one. Ah, you got
All right.
You got
Fair
the highway
enough.
robbery. That's unfortunate. He's gone. And I don't have many options here. Well, I don't play this card often, but let's go with a steal from the rich. Trying to even out the hand count here a little bit.
And then this is where I choose to discard one?
Yep, or you let me draw another.
No, sir.
Yeah, there you go. Sancho doing work from beyond the grave.
That's right. We're gonna do that.
Second action, let's have Robin hit Don.
Let's paint it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate for me because I don't get to draw any. Although it does put you down to 1, which makes me feel pretty good. And you're up.
Why don't
Oh, you know what?
maneuver?
I do get to hop back.
Oh, yep. Let me maneuver.
Yep.
And then I'll maneuver again.
Mm-hmm.
Boost this maneuver. And then 2, 3, 4. And you go right ahead.
Dang, backing off.
That I am.
Oh.
For reasons that will be unknown.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you don't have any defense.
Come on, me with my 1 health and no defense?
Yeah. But I don't know, like, we're getting to the point where I may be getting the deadly combo coming at me. We'll see. I'll start with a maneuver. This is a big decision here. Okay, guys in the stream, I know you can see my hand. What do you vote for? Do you vote for the defensive route or the offensive route?
Hey, stream guys, go offensive. You got it. You gots to. You gots to. Always be aggressive,
Come
right?
on, chat. Which one you want? All right. Yeah, we got. Everybody wants to see the
Let's do
aggressive
it.
play. All right.
Let's do it.
All right,
Drop
all right,
it on me.
All right. We're gonna boost here. We're gonna boost with the feint.
Ooh.
So I can go 4. Let's
Yeah.
go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and let's have Robin attack Don.
Flat 4.
All right.
Yeah, I figured that was coming,
So I will draw my 2.
but I couldn't take it.
Yep, I'll hop back to my hidey hole, and it is your go. That could have been
I will.
incredibly risky. If you had a feint there, oh, I'd be left with no cards in hand.
I know, but I knew that that's the card that was coming.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, there's no way he's not using second shot right now, or whatever, or the piercing. I'm sorry, the piercing shot to draw cards.
Now, see, what if it was the disarming shot and then you fainted and you died? But if it was
Oh,
disarming and you defend with the 4, then you're safe. So I guess the 4 is probably the best defense in every case.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Good play.
That being said, I will maneuver. Let's maneuver to there, and I'll maneuver again.
Yep.
Okay, and then I will boost this last one.
Ooh, okay. Here we go. There's
And
Sancho.
I will attack Robin.
With your ability, correct? This is the last one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, okay. Let's throw out a snark.
And then I'll go ahead and do this.
Alright, yours goes during combat. You take my robbery. Quite a good hit there. So you're up to a 4, so I'll take 1. And
we got a damage, boys. We got one.
I get to draw 1 card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It is my turn, huh? Let's see what you got. You don't got much else, honestly.
Is he gonna attack right away on me?
Yeah, let's hit you. Let's go. They wanted to see
flat
aggression.
4.
Yep, you survive. I
honestly thought it was wily fighting and I lose anyway.
I wish. Well, I will draw 1. All right, guys, here we are again. Same situation. Aggressive or defensive. All right, let's do it. Let's have Robin hit. We'll hit him again.
Is it the 4? It's got to be the 4 to pull cards.
What do you got? The Knight-Errant. It's a feint, dude. It's just a feint.
Okay.
It's just a feint.
Oh, man.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'm going to jump. Let's try and get out of here. I guess blue and I guess that one's probably better. All right, your turn.
All right. Why don't I?
They say aggressive always.
Always aggressive. I like it. I like this type of gameplay. Obviously, I'm going to start by a maneuver.
Yep.
I'm debating how I want to do this right now.
Listen to what Gary says in the chat. He says, "How long can this nearly dead old man drunkenly stumble out of Robin's shots?"
It's true. It's true.
This is great.
Okay. So that was my first, right? That was my first maneuver, right?
I believe so, yes.
So let's go there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to maneuver again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to face up, attack, and kill said outlaw.
Yep, he's dead. You want to attack again
And
or you
then,
want to draw?
No, I'm going to draw 2 cards.
All right, cool.
And it is your turn.
All right, well, I have to maneuver, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go over here, and let's have the outlaw attack Don.
All right, the wily fighting.
It is the wily fighting.
Yeah,
That'll be
that was it.
Good
Granted,
game.
I had the same thing as last time where I couldn't pull anything defense, or every time I pulled the defense, you decided let's get in there and attack.
Hey,
So
I didn't decide that. That was all chat.
That all, you know what? That drunkenly stupor walking around worked phenomenal for me, honestly. I hope it was at least entertaining. What I was planning to do was hopefully you pulled something you couldn't use, which unfortunately there is nothing Robin can't use right away.
Right.
Considering
Otherwise,
you lost both your defenses.
You know, it's funny because you would have been better off right there if I would have drawn the highway robbery. Because then if I maneuver and I attack with highway and you feint it, and then you're fine, you're living, and then maybe you can get the combo, the almighty combo to finish Robin.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, okay, let me just try to. Honestly, I was doing the math too. I was like, okay, I pull this back, and
you had charging.
what I was gonna do is pull that. I was gonna pull this for the free, or I wasn't. I was gonna maneuver, and then I was gonna pull, and then I was going to hit you with this, and then hit you with that. I think that was the.
Well, you can use this too to bring something like, so you could have done charging the giants for a free attack, or you could have pulled your card back first, right? Pull your card, charging, hit with this maybe, and then like get an action back and hit with this, and then maybe get another attack. I don't know. You could have done a lot of attacks, and you just needed probably one more turn, and you would have been okay. Maybe.
Isn't that the famous saying that everybody says? One more turn.
One more, yep. If there was one more turn, that's true.
Yeah, I think just that defensive stance that you had, and I let Sancho out way too early.
Good game overall.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I wish I could have been a better opponent for you. I mean, you wiped me both times, but
That's all right. No, it was great fun. I think we had good showcase games both times.
Oh yeah.
So I guess what are some closing thoughts that you have on the deck?
Closing thoughts. I still think what I said still stands to this moment, and I could have used it a lot here. Is keep that sidekick alive. He's very valuable. You know, there's a lot of unvaluable sidekicks, I say, jokingly, but sometimes it turns true where this is not the case at all. This is very sidekick heavy driven. I quite enjoy that aspect too. I enjoy using a sidekick. I don't enjoy sometimes playing the, like Sinbad situation where Porter's kind of cool, but you can win the game without Porter.
Yeah, totally. So yeah,
this game I think is heavy sidekick favored.
Right, more like Little Red, like you said in the beginning. I agree. Do you think Sancho has enough defensive capabilities and enough health to stay alive if you need him to?
Yes, I think if you, I really do. I know these threes are, basically the same as like InGen workers. They have the movement cards, and that keeps them alive fairly well. I think with his, and not only that, he's not a one health sidekick. So these threes, I think, are perfectly set for him. He also have all these ennies, the one that can heal you, the one that can, I think it's actually really well. This was very well put thought into by our friend Poindexter, and I really like the sidekick aspect. I think that's the highlight of this. If coming from me, I don't know how you feel about it, but I really enjoy the sidekick aspect.
Yeah, I totally do as well. Because like I said, so many of his effects rely on that. Like his blue defense is so good. That's such an incredible card if Sancho's alive, of course. And same thing on the Knight-Errant with that swap and heal. I mean, that's just massive. So taking that into consideration, I mean, Sancho can sometimes have 9 health, and that's as big as Wiglaf or Huntsman. And on top of that, he has better defenses than both Wiglaf and Huntsman, I would say, because the only good defense Huntsman has is stones, and that's situational. And the only good defense that Wiglaf has is like a skirmish, and then you're taking away that skirmish from Beowulf. So
yeah,
I think he has better defenses with the feints, the Balm, the Knight-Errant, and his own threes. So he's a pretty good sidekick, and I really enjoy that too. I agree with you. With that being said, do you have a favorite card?
A favorite card? I gotta say this one right here is probably it. I'm pulling everything, and I apologize. I really like this card.
Okay.
I really like the option to attack again because of the fact of if used right with your ending. I think that's what makes that a great card. As a standalone, maybe not so much, but being able to, let's say, attack twice after twice maneuvering, I think that's quite amazing situationally. And then if not, it's got to be any of the Sancho cards, because I know I keep going back to it. I'm a broken record. I'm a parrot on repeat. He's a heck of a sidekick, and I really respect that of this deck more than anything else.
Yeah, I really like this card too. Like you said, the versatility it gives, the options is just great. If you use that with your ability at the end of turn, you can do a lot of attacks, because this one would be free, and then you can use it to chain into another one.
Into the 6.
Yeah,
into the one that can change it to the 6.
Yeah, or the ambush. Either one is very strong. I think if I had to pick a favorite card, I think it would be Charging the Giants, because I just love how well that sets up like an unexpected combo. Because you not only get to move 5 spaces, which is a ton, but then you get that free attack. And I mentioned this in my review too. This card, if in a fatigue scenario, can be used as a double pass at the cost of revealing your hand, which is just really cool.
That is really awesome, and I mean, yeah, it gives hand knowledge at the end, but why not? Like,
Right.
there's a point at which
It could win
it's
you the
actually pretty.
game. Like, we were looking at Sinbad, like we were getting really close to fatigue, so this could have, being a double pass, could have won me a game that I had no business winning in the first place. So I just like that versatility of the card, and I love the unexpected combos it brings. So that's
And
probably my favorite card.
I'll turn this around real quick. Do you think, as a closing thought, do you think there is too many schemes? Do you think? I know you were saying that earlier, and do you think 6 is too many for somebody who should be as this aggressive, or do you think that it was actually quite well?
So I think with charging, giving you that free attack, and with the madness giving you that gain in action, I don't think it's too many, because really the only scheme that you're sacrificing tempo for is Thou Hast Seen Nothing Yet. And even then, you can use its movement capability to get you adjacent to your opponent. You get a free attack card guaranteed, and then you can use your ability to attack with the card you got. So every scheme that he has gives him tempo in a way and aggressive capabilities, and you're not just passing with them unless you choose to do so with charging.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think going into this, I said it's too many, being 6 personally.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was playing it, I didn't get to do many schemes at all. I was just trying to pull defenses as quick as I could. But
Right.
that being said, if the opportunity arose, having them, I think that was the right amount.
Yeah,
I'm interested to hear what Poindexter has to say too.
for sure. Let's see if we can get Poindexter on for an interview. Hello?
Hello, I think I'm here.
Hey, Poindexter, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us here for the interview. And did you get a chance to watch the games on stream?
Yeah, I got to watch all of it.
So yeah, I mean, I want to say first of all, I really, really enjoyed the deck. It was a blast to play.
I agree completely.
Yeah, no problem. I'm not usually like an aggro player myself, but it was just so fun coming up with the combos, because there's so many different options with the schemes and then with your ability, and like deciding whether or not you want to take a double maneuver and get your free attack, or do some other combination of maneuvering and maybe attacking with Sancho or whatever. It just made a lot of decision points, which was really, really fun.
It's one of the things I wanted to get in there was just some places in there to have to make decisions on that with some of the cards. Specifically, Ingenious Gentleman and Balm both have some decision points. And then, yeah, and I thought that thematically aggression really made sense with it there, because he pretty much in the stories just runs out like a crazy man, because he is insane.
Sure.
And it just charges. And I tried to make it where he has a lot of ability to be able to run out and charge. He doesn't have ways to get out of situations. Now that didn't seem to come into his play here as much in these games. And then Sancho in the stories was really the only thing that ever like saved him from completely destroying himself, is that Sancho would get in there and pull him out.
Okay.
And I tried to work that with Sancho, as Sidious pointed out here, being so important to him, to being able to keep him alive.
Yeah, I think you did a really good job thematically with all of that. I mean, it all felt the way it should. Any specific questions you have or comments?
Well, I put a few down on here. One I wanted to ask about was his special ability, and just, do we think that works? Is that too powerful? Is it powerful enough? I'm just kind of wanted to get some thoughts on that, because I know it does give him kind of a maneuver of 4, although it's not a true maneuver, and you do have to double maneuver on it. So if you used it too much, you could get yourself into some fatigue trouble.
That's a great point. Yeah, because it's not the same as being able to just move 4 with drawing 1 card out of your deck and make an attack. You have to draw 2 cards, which sometimes you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good question, but I think it felt right. I think there's the perfect amount of decisions to be made regarding how often you should use that double maneuver and a free attack. I mean, Mike, what do you think?
Two things come to mind. One, really good against ranged characters because of who he is. I think it was actually a really great ability. I think it was wonderful. Two, if he was a ranged champion, it would absolutely be broken. Take it out of the game. No thanks. Hard pass. No.
Yeah. He shouldn't be ranged anyway.
Yeah.
As I'm making, he's pretty much a dude on a broken down horse with a lance. So
Right. Now, what do you think about the ability being both Don and Sancho? Was that intentionally left as Don specific, or have you thought about that?
I did think just Don Quixote was the one that was usually the more aggressive, like that. And I kind of wanted to see how it went with just Don Quixote. It could be something that could be changed to Sancho there, because there was a couple places in there where it would have made a difference in the game if Sancho would have been able to do that.
Yep.
I'm not saying that it would have changed the outcome, but it absolutely would have made me win the whole game. Robin had no chance if I got that one attack off.
Oh yeah, it's clearly a bad design by the designer that took you out of that. I mean, obviously.
No, I don't know. When I look at that, I think there are plenty of options where if I had the chance to attack with Sancho again, I absolutely would have. But I totally understand why it is only Don Quixote.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's something I could definitely think about on there. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how much it would change things, making it apply to Sancho as well.
yeah.
But it is something to think about.
Right. I think it's okay as is, though, because thematically, like you said, it works. It makes sense. And also, I think if you made it both Sancho and Don, it might be a little too good. Because, you gotta... If you want to attack, which isn't going to be probably that often, but like he does have that really powerful 5, the Squire. So if you want to use that attack, you have to sacrifice your ability for that turn at least, and you're only going to get to draw one card with your maneuver. So like that creates a nice decision point of, okay, do I want to maneuver twice, draw 2, and use the ability to attack with Don, or do I want to only maneuver once, only draw once, and get my attack in with Sancho?
Another question I'd written down here, and Sidious, I have forgotten your name again. I know you said it a few times.
Oh, just there. Mike or Big Michael.
Okay.
That guy. You.
Guy. I'm actually Jeremy. That's my mother did not name me Poindexter, so it's good.
All right, Jeremy. Cool.
There was a comment, Mike, that you made early on into this, which was that you weren't sure that there were any cards that you would want to feint.
Yeah, I think I think it's the opposite. I think
the opposite that you wouldn't want to feint. Yeah, any cards that you would be okay having feinted.
Yeah, like if you attacked me with anything but regroup, if any attack came at me, even the Sancho one, I would still be like, I think it's worth the feint. Other than I just took 3 damage from a sidekick. Like, I think that's kind of what I'm jumping on John's version of that, which is you know what, you feint my thing, I'm still going to be able to do 3 damage to you.
And if we were going to make any type of changes, and there were some places in there on some cards that could have a little bit taken off of them to make certain cards that you would want to target with a feint, because I know that's something that's kind of important in there, to have certain ones that are the big cards that you want to get rid of with him, and I know that it's just kind of most of his cards in this case fitting that. Are there any that need to be I guess neutered a little bit from where they currently are? Like I said, I've done mainly, it's been a few games with some of my friends on this, and then a lot of simulated games, and all of that only tells you so much on there before I'm going into the guild here where people actually play it.
So basically you're asking if there's certain cards to change to be more feint proof, is that right?
That, or just any that seem a bit too powerful as they are and need to be toned down a little bit there.
As far as being feint proof, like I think if you changed any of the cards to be more feint proof, that would make it too good. So if you're thinking about potential nerfs to cards, I mean, that's really hard to say with only
Yeah, I
two
gotcha.
plays. Like, it's easier to say a card needs to be buffed than it is to call for a nerf
Oh, definitely.
without more
Um,
plays.
and it's also, we got kind of some unusual games here where we had both one game going very strongly in Don Quixote's favor and the other not. So it's a
Right.
little hard to tell. Guess another one, I had not ever contemplated charging to giants being usable as a double pass.
Ah,
I suppose that does make sense there, and it wasn't something I had planned with it there, and I don't know that that's necessarily a problem. Just not something that I had thought about until you brought it up.
sure. I really liked
Uh,
that aspect. I think
oh yeah.
I, I obviously, he's an aggressive deck, but if
Hmm.
you're against another aggressive deck, that might come into play being used as the double pass towards
Oh yeah.
fatigue, which I think is pretty cool and makes some good decisions to use with with that card.
Hmm.
Now, one thing too, though, that I would like to probably see with that card, though, is what do you think about making him able to move through fighters?
Um, yeah, I may put that in there. I think it was initially I was just trying to keep it from being too strong, and kind of just
I think
made
that
it
would
not.
actually make it very well as move through fight. I think that that would
Yeah,
be amazing.
and yeah, and that may be what I go ahead and do with that there, because I could see how that would allow you to get in there, much like crashing through the trees.
Yeah,
It would
exactly.
be very similar to it in that case.
Mm-hmm. Although I wonder, does that make it too good? Because then there's no real counterplay for your opponent.
Yeah,
That might be a problem because if they have sidekicks, at least they can put the sidekicks in the way to prevent that.
yeah.
So I don't know. I would. I think it would be fun to be able to move through people with it because you'd be able to keep up aggression really well. But I don't
Hmm.
know if it would be fair for the opponent.
Yeah.
Not quite sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of with both that and the ability being just a Don Quixote. Both of those was just to try it more conservatively, and if we felt the deck was a little lacking, to the ability to apply to Sancho and charging to be able to go through opposing fighters.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it. I mean, the deck felt good. It didn't feel
Yeah,
lacking, at least from my
yeah,
limited
yeah.
experience.
No, yeah. I don't think it is lacking there, and it seemed. With the other play tests that have been done on there that I've seen people on Reddit post, he's done fairly well there. It's been pretty split so far from the 3 or 4 that have done it.
Okay, that's good to hear because especially with aggressive fighters, it's a little
Mhm.
more like finicky. Like there's a finer level of balance you need to achieve. I feel like because if you make it too good, then it's like unfair, right? Because they can just blow you out really quick without you even having a chance to
Yeah.
really play the game. And so I don't know. I think he's probably at the right level right now. If anything,
Hmm.
he would need to be nerfed a little bit, maybe, but it seems good for now.
Yeah. Card that was changed from a 4 to a 5. That of Sancho's on the Squire. It was recommended to do that to try to put a little bit more of a target on Sancho, to where if he's got a 5, they're going to be much more desirable to go after Sancho and get rid of him. And since there's already so much that he can do, you kind of want to.
I definitely think you succeeded in that. I think Sancho needs to die.
Yeah, no, you've got my vote on that too. He's Huntsman 2.0, but more valuable even.
Any other specific questions you had, Jeremy?
Don't know that I've got any others down here. I have, but yeah, I got over everything that I had here on the list. Looks like we've covered everything that I had to talk about on there. Um, and I definitely appreciate y'all taking a look at the character, and especially to you, John, for doing this here, because I know you're also, we're in the middle of a tournament right now.
Yep.
Yeah, we are.
That you are more involved with it than the rest of us here that are just playing in it. So I definitely appreciate you taking time to do this while that's all going on.
Yep, no problem. It's always fun to do, and I hope that it helps you and everybody else,
Mhm.
that are making these fan decks. This is just, yet another deck that really just blown me away with how fun it was, because I'm not a huge customs person myself, but since I've been doing the guild stuff and playing your guys' decks, there's so many good ideas that come out of this and so many fun decks, and I'm really surprised and impressed. So keep up the good work.
This was a phenomenal deck.
Well, I really appreciate that, and I know the guys at Restoration have said that they kind of pay attention to all this here to see what's happening with these, even though there's not a contest going on. So, maybe there'll be some ideas from some of these decks that'll, get picked up by them, because I don't think any of us that made a deck here would be offended by them taking some of the ideas from here. That would be, we would love to see that.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. And I mean, I could see this being a real deck. Honestly, it fits.
Not only could I see it being a real deck, I think this is something that I would, if it were to become a real deck, I'd pick it up quite often actually to try to really use it properly.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I agree. It was a really fun one. And also, Jeremy, I want to thank you too. I know you've been doing a lot of like streaming for the tournament, even other people's matches outside of your own. So, that's really kind of you, and it's a big help in helping just get more exposure for the whole thing.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I think getting a lot of content out here for Unmatched before the Marvel sets drop, I think is going to be a good thing to have this wealth of information out there as we have influx of new players come in. I think that's going to definitely be good.
Yeah, I agree.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of new players coming in from Marvel and the digital edition as well, I think, because just the ease of access to the game people will have like on their phone even. So.
Oh, yeah, that's going to completely change things, having people just play it wherever and still trying to figure out ways to lug around all these sets together physically everywhere.
Yeah,
so,
it's not easy.
On that.
It's not easy at all.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Find opponents too. 4 a.m. in the middle of work. Come on, let's hop on the phone. Let's go.
There you go. Yeah. Gary just said too, this is one of the decks he's going to be printing and bringing to Gen Con. So that's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Man, when is that? I gotta see if I can possibly make. I don't even know where it's at, but I think I can probably make
It's in Indiana, and it's mid-September, and it lasts for like 4 days long. It's like Thursday to Sunday, I believe.
Man, that'd be a lot of fun to go to.
That would be. It's unfortunately something I'll have to think about for another year. But
yeah,
if I could figure out a way to get up there to that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome to see you there. Obviously, it's a big commitment, though, with travel and taking time off work potentially and all that. But just to go play a board game with people we only know online. But
oh, yeah.
But I think it'll be fun. I'll be there for sure, and it'll be cool having Don Quixote in real life here to play.
I'd be excited for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, any other closing thoughts, or should we wrap it up here?
No, I think everything was well. I think both of you, again, I just reiterate what you both do for this community and tournament. I'll just keep sitting back and playing in it and asking for people to stream mine. How about that?
Hey, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, I figure if I'm going to be watching them anyway, I may as well go ahead and stream it. So.
Good point. Yep, you're going to be there anyways. All right, guys. Well, Jeremy and Mike, thanks for joining me here. It was a blast. Everyone in the chat, thanks for checking it out. This is round number 14, so another exciting one in the books. Definitely go try out Don Quixote. It was a blast, especially if you like aggressive decks. I highly recommend it. It was great. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks guys for joining me, and we'll catch you next time. And there you have it, guys. That's going to be it for round number 14 of the Playtesting Guild featuring Don Quixote by PoindexterG. And this deck was super fun. It was very aggressive, so if you're a fan of Bruce Lee and the Raptors, I would highly recommend trying this one out. You'll have a blast. I'm not usually that type of player myself, but I really enjoyed this one. It was just a very well-made deck. Seemed pretty balanced, and the combos you could do with it were really awesome and required quite a bit of thought, so it was really fun. I'm glad I was able to get this one out in the middle of the tournament. I've been really busy with that as well, so make sure you guys are keeping up with the action there on my Twitch. Also, I'm going to be uploading them to YouTube, so you can check them out after the fact if you missed the live version. So that's going to be it for today. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'm ZeroSkater12, and I'll see you next time.